Hey, hi, how are you? Vadd here. We are right where we left off, once again trying out the awesome teleporter. We tamed our second apex Dilophosaurus, and we have some trank gear. If we can trank ourselves an apex Pteranodon, we might be able to pick up that apex Dilophosaurus and get it back into our base, which is going to be absolutely huge for our progression through the DinoOverhaulX mod. We are in Ark Survival Evolved on the Ragnarok map, and we have just tamed our very first apex Pteranodon. They've been taunting us almost every episode, flying by with their big flappy wings. No longer. They are tamed and on the team. These apex Dilophosauruses are going to be huge for our progression because these apex Dilos are a key ingredient for upgrading our Pygmies. We've been talking a little bit about them last episode. The Pygmies are an important part of the progression through the DinoOverhaulX mod. And as we tame a Pygmy, we also want to upgrade a Pygmy. In order to upgrade a Pygmy, there's a couple of different taming treats. And a big ingredient for those taming treats are fertilized apex Dilo eggs. And okay, we have liftoff. This Pteranodon, this apex Pteranodon is absolutely massive. It's tough to get a sense of how big it is until I put it next to a regular Pteranodon. I'm going to speed up the flappy part back to the base. I'm not sure why it floats kind of below me. I really don't mind. I'm happy that it works. I have one more apex Dilo, hopefully still safe in his little thatch hut. You see the dragon up there on the left? That is it's a very large dragon. I really hope it's not aggressive to us. I don't know the aggro range on a lot of these creatures, but I'm going to do some zigzagging and hope he's not interested in our little Pteranodon circus here. Hey, in the DinoOverhaulX mod, these apex creatures, they are our first step up from the vanilla Ark creatures. So with the apex Pteranodon, we have our first true apex tame that's going to help us progress beyond just building treats for Pygmies. That's right, we spent a lot of time, energy, and resources to satisfy the needs of a tame we haven't even tamed yet. It sounds ridiculous, it feels ridiculous, but that's how it goes. I'm again going to use the hitching post. I'm a big fan of these. They just help keep my base organized. Remember, with the feeding trough, that you need to make sure you have food in there, not just for your carnivores, but for your herbivores. They're going to eat from the trough as long as they have the food in there you need. If you have a rock golem, you put stone in there, it's also going to feed that rock golem. I'm really excited to see that Dilo number 1 survived. He didn't attack anything, nothing attacked him. I'm going to scoop him up and take him back to base. And as fortune would have it, that is one male Dilophosaurus and one female Dilophosaurus. We have a breeding pair. We can start farming our Dilo eggs, which is very exciting. These Allosauruses are welcome. They can hang out down here. I don't mind at all. I almost lost him here. But the Omega Rock Drake, I think, has moved on to greener pastures. We did not kill it. We did not take an egg from the one that was right outside our base, but I haven't seen it in quite some time. I think after I get these apex Dilophosauruses parked and breeding, I think the next thing I want to work on by the end of this episode, let's get a breeding pair of apex Pteranodons. That way I don't have to go out and tame some. I can just always use one of the eggs from a breeding pair of apex Pteranodons. I think that would really help as far as time management, not having to always find a flower and lose a flower. You see the aggro range on that Wyvern? I don't know what I did, but I really upset it. But I'm on my apex Pteranodon, and I've noticed this thing is substantially faster than that vanilla Ark Pteranodon. I haven't pumped an insane amount of movement speed. If I put 10 points in this Pteranodon and 10 points in an apex Pteranodon, I'm sorry, if I put 10 points in a vanilla Ark Pteranodon and 10 points in an apex Pteranodon, this apex Pteranodon outflies it substantially. It's got the bigger rings. I've got more stamina, bigger health pool. I'm really enjoying just tearing around the map on this. And I not only upset that wyvern, a second wyvern joined the hunt as well, but I think I'm just not that interesting to them at this point. There's bigger fish to fry. We're here with the next apex Dilophosaurus. I'm fairly far from where I last was. I had to fly back past those wyverns, but they aggroed onto some other beast. And I'm going to try the awesome teleport out several times. Sometimes I get it to work, sometimes I don't. And in this one, I'm fairly confident I have a little bit of success. Yes, so this should be right in at the base. And once more, I'm going to tame another apex Dilophosaurus a little further out from the map. I had a bit of a hoopla here. These bugs attacked, and I couldn't get to whistle stop, and it was some hassle. But story short, we get the tame, which is very exciting. And then an RG aggroes onto us. Our Triceratops picks a fight. We lose our tame. I mean, everything just went south fast. We got arced so hard, and we probably deserve it. Maybe we don't. But it's what happened, and sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So I saw my apex Pteranodon. I can always look for another apex Dilo. This RG, buy, just buy, another time. And I am on the way to the next apex Dilophosaurus, but you can see with that awesome spyglass, I've aggroed several creatures. I think this apex Pteranodon really died? It died? Well, if it's there. I think this apex Pteranodon gets in the aggro range of some other creatures more so than the vanilla Pteranodon. I just don't remember being such a target, and maybe I'm just getting careless with my flight patterns, but I feel like I've really been flying quite far away. I thought I outran this apex poison wyvern, and I was going to lose it kind of in the beach here. I know sometimes they get stuck in the little woodlands, but I'm not sure if I was successful. Anyway, you swing it. I really think... Oh, no. Okay, we'll try again. I really think the apex Pteranodon just upsets the rest of the beach. On the way back to base, I ran across another apex Dilo, which is fantastic. And I'm going to tame, I think, a Pteranodon. Oh, I have the awesome teleporter. Okay, we're all back at base. This is fantastic. I was not expecting this to be so successful. I was able to get back in the base without taming one. However, our big loss here, we don't have another apex Pteranodon. So if we can get ourselves a breeding pair, I really would like that. This apex Manticore, see how it's kind of perched here, kind of a nesting behavior? That says to me there might be an egg there that it's guarding. It's not flying around fighting things. Let me see if I can get maybe a little bit of a better look. No, I don't know. So here's going to be the female for our breeding pair of the apex Pteranodons. If we tame up a male, then we'll have the other half of our breeding pair, and that way we can use the eggs for our flyers. So if we are out adventuring and we lose one, I won't be tragically sad or super upset or incredibly set back. I will just hatch another egg and the vicious cycle will continue. I also like the way these apex Pteranodons, they have kind of a moonwalk animation to them. When you're walking with them, they go forward, backwards, and sideways. It's very glidey. Okay, Big Mama's in the base, and she's hitched. And if we can just appreciate for a second how big these apex creatures are. They really are just visually exciting to have. They're quite beastie. One thing that I have forgotten here is I have the Soul Ball mod, and this will help me. It's kind of like a Pokeball or a Cryopod, but it doesn't have the cryo sickness, and it's much more reasonable. I went out to tame a Pteranodon here, and I forgot my trank supplies, which is a little sad, and I know I upset the Manticore, and I'm hoping I can kind of lose it in the twisties around here. If I can just kind of circle back around, and maybe it just won't be that interested in who I am anymore, and it forgets that I'm after its egg. I'm not sure if I'll be successful, and I won't. Okay, that's okay. This happens sometimes. This thing just about deleted me. Yeah, there we go. Okay, here's the plan. I'd like to get that saddle back if I can. If not, I'd kind of like to cheese the egg. I'd kind of like to sneak up there and just snatch it. We do have the refrigeration to keep it on ice, and maybe we'll put together some air conditioners for our future Apex Pteranodon breeding pair. Oh, rare flowers, nice. But I don't think we will have success with hatching the Manticore egg. I'm not going to put it to hatch yet. There's a great mechanic in Docs that when you hatch a Manticore, you think you're all set and you're ready to go, and you're going to ride it into battle and conquer the map. Well, the truth is you're not. You need to first conquer a prime dino and get a drop of prime kibble, and until you prove you're worthy and you give that prime kibble to your Manticore, your Wyvern, your Dragon, you're not going to be able to ride it even if we steal the egg here. But still, it would be a big jump in our progression. We've been keeping our eye open for an egg for 5, now 6 episodes and 20 or 30 hours of play. It would really be great to get our hands on this egg, and there is an egg here, confirmed. I'm not sure if I can get it from this angle I took running up the left. No, not this angle. But there is an egg here. If we can get that egg and get it on refrigeration, that will certainly help our progression as we get closer to fighting those prime dinos. Remember, the prime dinos have that red star over their head, and those prime dinos are the lowest tier of boss. I'm going to look left, look right, and run up the hill to the right this time. I'm not sure if there's a better angle to get to that Manticore nest, but I know there's an egg there and I want it. Now, the Saber-Tooth Triad still runs the North Hill, and I am still on their hit list. So there's only one of them right now, but I'm not having success outrunning them. Oh, this raptor. I really just made that raptor's day. Like, they were just waiting for me. Like meat's back on the menu, boys. Like, that was the face that raptor had. Okay. I wonder if I get a little better armor, if I might have a shot. Like, would I have gotten away? Would I have had a couple more steps or a couple more moments to fight? I'm not sure, but I have the supplies to make armor a little better than the flak armor, and I think it's worth a try. However, those Saber-Tooths do a bleed attack, I think. It looks like they must do some percentage-based damage on my health. I'm not sure. But if nothing else, I have the supplies. This is probably a reasonable time to give ourselves a little bit more of a fighting chance. Again, we're playing the DinoOverhaulX mod. We are not the best tool. Our best tool is going to be a combination of things. It's not just going to be some Docs armor, but it's going to be a superior saddle and a superior tame. We're just not there yet. I'm going to try one more time to go right, and I think I can jump across the gap from the other side. I'm not sure, but if I'm a little sneakier, maybe the Saber-Tooths have kind of aggroed the other side of things. I'm not sure, but it's worth a try. It's worth taking the time and spending the resources to risk. Look at that. That's some kind of glitchy run. Yeah, I'm taking less damage here on the yellow hit markers, but you can see in the bottom right corner, my health is just dropping. There really must be some kind of a bleed effect that they're hitting me with there. Hey, in the DinoOverhaulX mod, you're going to notice at the top of the screen several times this episode, the Titans show up and they want to fight. We want to fight the Titans. The Titans are those top tier bosses, and we're struggling with primes right now. We got our first Apex tame with that Apex Pteranodon. I know we tamed an Apex Dodo and an Apex Dilo in previous episodes, but those were more for the resources, for the egg farming. They weren't so much for their ability to help us maneuver or fight, and we might get a decently bred Apex Pteranodon. It might take the fight to something. No promises, but it's worth a try. At this point, I just want to get back in my base. I can't get to it from the right. I'm well below a quarter of my health points, and I'm going to serve up another sacrifice to the Manticore. If he can hit me, try again. Okay, so it's level 980. I like to think that the egg's going to be level 980, but that's not always how that works. There are times when the beast that laid the egg is not the beast that's guarding the nest anymore. And I'm wondering if I can get up here from a little further left. I think if I turn left here, I might have a shot at jumping across this gap. It really put that nest in a hard spot for me to get, and it makes it tough to leave my base. I can't really fly to the left or over the top. Allosaurus. Allosaurus Prime, it looks like. I think I saw a star. I'm on fire? Why am I on fire? Oh. Some kind of wyvern. Ooh. Well, this is fortuitous. Oh, man. Okay. New plan. Let's get the easier egg and get a wyvern. I mentioned before there's several wyverns flying around. I really hope someone plants down and puts this rock here and puts a nest down and lays an egg. And again, we're not going to be able to ride this dino. We're not going to hatch it, but we're going to have it. We're going to have the egg when we are in the position to hatch the egg. We're going to hatch the egg. If only I could pick this egg up. Why do you disrespect me so? An ice wyvern egg. Okay. So you can see here that the egg guardian is not always the tame who lays the egg, and you can also see here that I was killed by a different fire wyvern from the previous fire wyvern. So the egg guardian isn't always the same either, and I ran out the door back to back. I know I'm editing out some of the minutia of running around and getting nothing done, but hey, we have a wyvern egg, we have an apex drake egg. This is very exciting, but in order to get the eggs hatched and to use them, we not only need prime kibble, but we also are going to need a special meat. Those Manticore children and those wyvern kids and the future dragon eggs we're hoping to pick up, they all require a specific... I wonder if I can sneak by. It would be very sneaky if I could. This would be max sneak. 100 out of 100 on sneak. Oh, okay. Yep, no sneak for me. They also require a special food, which we don't have either. So if you're out here doing what I'm doing, you're just cheesing an egg, that's great. It doesn't get you as close from point A to point B as you think it does. It's a part of the progression. You need these eggs, but it would be better off if I was able to fight these dinosaurs, these nest guardians, because these nest guardians sometimes hold the key, the resource we need in order... Ooh, I think I can get it from this angle. This isn't a bad angle. Yes. Manticore egg. That's right. Well, this has been super successful. Apex Pteranodon tamed. Check. Wyvern egg. Manticore egg. This could not have gone any smoother. Hey, we want to be able to fight those nest guardians. We need resources from them to raise the eggs once we hatch them. So we still have several steps of progression we need to get through here, but we're making our way through the DinoOverhaulX mod. So if nothing else, they're not top tier levels, but they are good levels and they're going to help us progress. I'm not going to take Big Mama out of the base. She is home and safe. I like her right where she is. I'm going to see if I can't get my hands on a pair. Big Mama is very sad and very alone, and she needs a friend. And the only male Apex Pteranodon on the map is on the furthest corner possible, just about, way over in the desert biome. This is just reminding me again off camera, I should really build another base. I'm sure you do not want to watch another base building progression beyond the first one. And when I land here, he takes off. Awesome. And the Apex Dodo wants my blood. I think it's something with the red Dodos. They're just fierce. I swear the red Dodo in the last episode came right for our face too. I really hope Big Countries enjoys the Dodo fight. Compies, yeah, you guys are not invited to my Apex Pteranodon taming party. Everyone out. Okay, let me make sure I don't lose my flyer because I would like to get back to base safely. And awesome. Okay, you know what? It's fine. I don't need you. Oh, but the Apex Pteranodon landed. Okay, perfect. Just be quiet. Go to sleep softly. There we go. Okay, we have our Apex Pteranodon male tame. If we can get him back to base, we will be in smooth sailing. We're back to base. It was a lot of flapping around. I'm sure you're not sad you missed it. And Big Mama has a friend. Oh yes, that's right. Big Daddy's home. We have a breeding pair. If we can put down some AC units, then we can hatch some Pteranodon eggs, and these eggs don't need special kibble. They don't need special meat. They are treated just like a Pteranodon vanilla arc baby would be raised. And this time we're going to make sure it gets past the juvenile stage. It's grown to at least 10% so that it can feed from the feeding trough without losing our new friend. That was very sad. I edited out about an embarrassingly large amount of time here. Remember, I built some of my electrical grid with modded structures and some without. I even have an unmodded air AC and a modded air conditioner built here. It was a huge nightmare, but they're up now. And when I have the egg collector, if I don't pull out the trophy from the middle fertilized egg collector, when I drop this fertilized egg here to hatch, it's just going to auto pick it up in a couple of seconds. And I also have what I need for the nanny. I know S Plus had an update for an aggregator. I still like the nanny, it's just easy. And once the egg is hatched, I'm going to make sure that I have my egg collector totem back where it goes, and I'm going to raise this apex Pteranodon. Until next time. If you learned something or enjoyed this video, share it with a friend. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. If you have joined and enjoyed before, welcome back. If you would like to see more quality content, please consider joining me in supporting the channel through Patreon and utilizing the affiliated links. Thanks!